It's now my honor and privilege to introduce a woman who has lived with more than her fair share of challenges, and in the spirit of the Chatchila River, taken them and used them to empower many others on difficult journeys. Mrs. Tzameret Borevitz is a world-renowned lecturer and teacher. She's inspired many with her deep teachings and uniquely personal message. Mrs. Borevitz.
Good morning, everybody. It's my honor and pleasure to speak for such an important organization. I myself met Naomi driving back and forth with my sick daughter to Sloan Kettering. I also met her bringing meals every Tuesday to Sloan Kettering. And I know and experienced that every bit of help and support is just tremendous in difficult times. Throughout my trials, you know, it continues to be a test, yeah? But for 4 years, my daughter was sick. And today, looking back at it, I realized that I had many realizations throughout that time that today I can share with people. It's not going to be easy for me to speak, but I think it's important that whatever I realize maybe could be beneficial for other people, and maybe for the Ili Neshama, for my daughter, Shema Bracha Bas Chaim. When a person meets a crisis, it usually comes very sudden. Everything goes well, and all of a sudden, boom. And by the way, I'm not just speaking about a health issue. Any test that a person goes through, parnasa, health, whatever it is, it comes all of a sudden. And a person is unprepared for that. And I feel it's like, and that's what I'm going to do today, I feel it's like the Jews going out of Mitzrayim, and everything is nice and dandy, everything moves well, until boom, all of a sudden they see the ocean in front of them, the sea in front of them, and the Mitzrayim behind them, and they're stuck. What are we supposed to do? We thought everything is going well. What is this? Hashem. And there were 4 groups of people. 4 wrong ways, and only one correct way to move on. The 4 wrong ways is, one group said, let's just jump to the sea, commit suicide. The other one says, let's go back to Mitzrayim, be slaves again. The third one says, let's fight through the Mitzrayim. And the fourth one says, let's just daven. Davening will solve everything. And 4 of them are wrong. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, what are you davening to me? Move on, go in. That's the right way. When I went through the illness with Shana, I noticed that there's many times that I feel completely depressed, completely paralyzed, completely overwhelmed and fearful, frightened of the future. And I noticed that every time that I felt that, I had a certain thought going through my mind. What happens is this. You have in your brain different thoughts that are floating around. If you feel all of a sudden that you are depressed, pay attention to what thought is right now dominating your brain. And you'll notice that that thought is poison. And that's why you feel so all of a sudden overwhelmed. It's like a fish tank. There's different fish that are floating in the fish tank, right? So there's nice fish, and all of a sudden comes a poisonous fish. When this poisonous fish comes, you're going to feel completely shut off. You shut down. And your job is to recognize that fish, to take it out, to dissect it, and to neutralize it. The moment I understood that there are thoughts that are poisonous for me, bad, terrible, I learned to take it and to neutralize them. And the more you do it, the more your brain will automatically do it, eventually. What are the 4 thoughts that are poisonous? Number 1, why? Why? That's the first thought. Why me? It comes in all kinds of ways. Yeah, why me? Why? Get away from me, Hashem. Don't you see? Why me? Why not them? What's going on? How come everybody else is doing this and I'm doing that? The why is the most poisonous question. In Hebrew, there's a difference between lama, why, and lema. For what? What for? It's very different. The feeling that you get from lama is frustration. You're overwhelmed. You feel betrayed. Hashem, why? The feeling that you get for lema, what for, is let me see what I can do about it. It's motivating. It's empowering. So whenever you see the word lama, yeah, whenever you feel why, Hashem, these are like the people that wanted to fight with the Mitzrayim. Let's fight. What do you mean fight with the Mitzrayim? The Mitzrayim is the boundaries. The Mitzrayim is the test. Let's go and fight with it. Let's go and ask questions. We don't accept that test. Let's go and fight against what we're experiencing. Let's go and fight with Mitzrayim. The more you ask why, the more you are not able to accept reality, the harder it is going to be for you to deal with the reality. When I understood that why is not a good question, now I need to understand how to take it and neutralize it. And the why is neutralized by saying, because God loves me. He loves me. That's the last thing, the last navi that we had written is Malachi. And in Malachi, Hashem says, Ahavti etchem, Ahavti etchem, I love you. He loves me and He knows what's best for me. I do not know what's best for me. And therefore I need to believe that this is good. What I'm going through right now is good. You see, when I saw my daughter lying in bed while her friends were in camp and this is that, I need to go in the summer to Sloan Kettering, wheeling her, my heart broke. Adding to it, Lama is terrible. I need to feel this is what she needs, this is what I need. This is the best thing for us. Do I understand why? No. I just know and I trust that Hashem knows why. I read a woman that came from Iran. Today she lives in Israel, but she came from Iran and she said that in Iran she was very, very wealthy, very wealthy. It was still in the time of the Shah, who was not a very fanatic Muslim. And he was kind of capitalistic and he wanted everybody to have their own businesses and to flourish in the country. She said that her husband used to have a lot of factories for carpets, rugs, to make rugs, and they were very, very wealthy. She had one a winter house, one summer house, and yachts, and this is very, very wealthy, very aristocratic lady. She said that when the revolution happened and the Khomeini took power, everything changed for the Jews over there. She said right away the fanatic Muslims took charge and they started persecuting the Jews, and of course in the name of religion, but really wanted to take their money. She said one day she had 3 kids. I think the oldest one, if I remember right, was like 7, and I think 1 5 and 1 2 or something like that. One day, all of a sudden, her husband's chauffeur or something comes into the house, runs into the mansion, and telling her, "Pack up your things and leave. Take your keys and leave." She said, "What happened?" She said, He said, right now, a few fanatic Muslims came into your husband's factory, came to the office, shot him dead on the spot, and took all his money. They're on the way here. Baruch Hashem, he said, that I managed to come here before them. They're on the way to get you and to get everything that you own. Take whatever you need and run. She said, from all the things that she had, she took a few things just like, so she'll have a little bit of money. She picked up all her kids. He drove her away from the capital city, and she hid. For about a week she hid, and then she started having connection with people to smuggle her through the border. And from that other country, I forgot which country, then she'll go into Israel. She said that eventually she got into a group of Muslims that used to smuggle the border for money. The time came, and right before they left, the guy, Arab, with a kafia, everything, the whole garb, right? He comes and he tells her, listen to me, it's going to be a very hard journey, a week and a half that we're going to have to walk. In the beginning, we're going to use horses, and afterwards, it's just going to be walking. There's no way to do horse, to pass with horses. I see that you have 3 little kids. I'm telling you already now, I'm not risking my life. If I see that your kids are crying, I'm shooting. And she didn't have a choice. What is she going to do? Alone with 3 kids in a foreign country, in a hostile country. What is she supposed to do? She said, okay, fine. And she's davening to Hashem, please Hashem, make sure that my kids are going to be good. She didn't realize how hard it's going to be. She said throughout the journey, in the beginning she was sitting on a horse, she couldn't move. She wasn't used to sitting on a horse like this. She couldn't move. And everything hurt her. And her kid was crying. And every time, she said, every time the kids were crying, he would just turn with his gun, just like that. And she said, please, please. And she tried everything that she could to calm them down. Eventually, she said, one of her kids, they were going through thorns, and one of her kids lost his shoe. She had to carry him. On one hand, her 2-year-old, on the other hand, her 5-year-old. And she said, I felt that I'm dying. There was times that she needed to climb, and there were times that they needed to go through water, and the kids were suffering, and they're, mommy, 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 and she didn't know what to do. And the most burdensome thing was that every time that she felt like I can't anymore, who turned around with his gun? That Arab. She couldn't take it. Eventually, she just told him, kill me, just kill me, I can't take it anymore. I'm broken. He turned around and he said, fine, I'm going to kill you. And he pulled his trigger, and he said, I just want you to know, I'm not staying here with 3 kids, yeah? If you're dead, they're dead. And she said, okay, forget it. And then they moved on, and she said she learned throughout this week and a half to hate that Arab like a nightmare, like the Satan himself. She hated his guts. Disgusting person, cruel person, disgusting. Eventually, after a week and a half, they came to the border, and he smuggled her into the border. And right before he went back, he told her, sit down, I want to tell you something. He said, like, what now? He looked at her and told her, I'm Jewish, just like you. He said, I'm sorry for all the pain and suffering that I made you go through. I just knew that if I wouldn't be so tough with you, you would never have made it. Never. It's a hard journey, it's terrible, and I know that so many people just succumb to the circumstances, just die, they just fall, they can't anymore. And I knew that if I'm gonna let you, you're gonna fall. I had to play the tough guy, the cruel guy, to make you go through that and to succeed. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and he left her. When I read that, girls, women, I started crying. I felt like this is what Hashem is doing many times. He needs for our good to move you from point A to point B. And he knows that for you it's going to be terrible. But he needs to move you. My love, I need to move you from point A to point B for your neshama, for your growth, for your potential to come out. I have to play the tough guy, otherwise you wouldn't make it. You would never grow. When my daughter was diagnosed, I remember that my mother came to be with me. And she kept asking this question, why? But why? You're so good, you did tshuva, everything, why? And I remember that my son was 2 years old then. he was watching a video with a friend. A shlucha came to stay by me, and the shlucha, you know, when shluchim come a lot of times from different Yehupitzville places, they want to take it easy. So she was sitting on the couch, her daughter was 2 years old, and my son was 2 years old, they were watching a video together. And all of a sudden I smelled that somebody needs to be changed over here. So I'm looking, and actually both of them made it together. So I told her, you know, your daughter, she's like, whatever, she kept talking on the phone. Now my son is looking at this video, he wants to continue watching the video, and I'm taking him like a good mother, and I'm changing him, right? And he's screaming! He's screaming! Why? He points to her. How come she doesn't? How come she doesn't? Now, we know, yeah, who's a better mother over here, yeah, in this situation. Yeah, right? But he couldn't understand it. Her mother is so good. She lets her sit in that and watch the video, right? And I told my mother, you see, that's how we are sometimes. We're sitting next to our videos of our life. We're moving, you know, life is nice and dandy, and sometimes Hashem needs to clean us, and we cry and shout, Hashem, but why? We want to keep watching that video. And Hashem says, my love, I need to, for your good. The lama, that question, the answer, and how to neutralize it, because it's the best thing for me. Right now, my daughter, I have a daughter that's with concussion for already 3 years she's at home. I'm teaching her peers, her friends, I'm teaching them. 12th grade, they're going to seminary. And I see my daughter in bed. She has a terrible concussion. She can't function. She can't see people. She can't learn. She can't go out. And many times this thought comes again. Lama, Hashem is not enough. Do you know anybody else's address? Why just me? Right? And the moment it comes, I feel betrayed. Hashem, you're betraying me. You keep slapping me. I need to neutralize it right away. Lama is the best thing for her. Yes, it's the best thing for her neshama. I don't know why she came to the world. I don't know why I came to the world. He does. Trust. Trust that he knows best. And that thought empowers me, motivates me. Instead of being frustrated, thank you Hashem for being my good father. Thank you Hashem for helping me grow. That's the lama. Why? The next thought. You know what's the next thought? If people go through tests, the next thought is, I can't anymore. Okay? I can't. Ein koach. Yeah, that's the next thought. Ein koach is like this group that says, let's jump to the ocean. Let's commit suicide. I can't anymore. I can't. Leave me alone. Yeah? That thought will make you paralyzed, will make you frustrated, will make you, shut off. Yeah? I can't. How to neutralize it? Who says you can't? Who says? Why say I can't? How do you know you can't? Is there something that Hashem gives you just to be cruel? Sadistic? Oh, let's see how you fall apart? What do you mean I can't? You can! Of course you can! If Hashem gave you, you can! There's a mashal of a king that says that there's a challenge. I want you all to climb to the 60th floor in 10 minutes. Okay? And people start running through the steps, and then afterwards, whoever gets to the 60th floor is going to get like tremendous, reward, this and that. And a lot of people are trying, and by the time 5 minutes pass, they only find themselves 20th floor, right? Oh, we still have 40 more to go. How can we do it? Let's give up, and many people give up. A lot of people are still trying, but at the end of the day, all of a sudden, when they get to only 45th floor, and they still have 15 more floors to go, and they have 10 seconds, so they give up. They said, for sure, we're not going to make it, right? But one person kept going up and up and he sees an elevator open. And he runs in, and the elevator is already programmed to go to the 60th floor. Within 2 seconds, he's at the 60th floor, and he gets out on time. And there's trumpets and this and that, and the king is hugging him, and he gets a prize. Afterwards, he was asked, what made you, out of everybody, think that you could make it? Really? Naturally, you could have made it, right? You were at the 45th floor, and you're still 10 seconds. He said, because I trusted the king. If the king gave me that challenge, that means there must be a way that I can make it. The king is not going to give me a challenge that I can't do. And therefore, I knew that there must be a way. And I moved on. And there was a way. Hashem doesn't play games with us. There's no, I can't. If he gave you, you can. You can. And the moment you say, I can, you will see that all of a sudden you're empowered. You have strength to do it. Because you say, I can. With the test, Hashem gives also the kaichas. Hashem doesn't give a test that a person cannot withstand. So the I can't is not a true statement. It could be that's how you feel, but it's not a true statement. So instead of saying the moment you say, I can't, stop saying it. Tell yourself, I can. Of course I can. Thank you, Hashem, for giving me this strength. I can. That's neutralizing thought number 2. Thought number 3. Thought number 3. We said there's 4 groups, right? There was a group that basically decided to just daven. Just daven. Don't do anything, just daven. I found myself many times in that mode. Nothing could help. The doctor said this, stage 4, this, that, nothing can help. Only Hashem. What's wrong with that? People will think, what's wrong with that? It's good, daven. It's wrong. I have one. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that when a person gets into the mode of nothing can help, I should just daven. You put yourself in a bubble and you become in a situation of disconnect. You become insensitive because all day long you're just davening, writing to the Rebbe 5 times, or listening to classes all day long without being aware. Your kids need you, your husband needs you. You become like all of a sudden holy, holy, holy. Yeah? That's not what Hashem wants. That's not. Obviously you need to daven. But don't daven instead of do. Don't daven instead of connect. No. Don't be in a bubble of just daven, 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 connect to Hashem and forget about everything else. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Get out of this mode, my love, get out. No, you need to act here. You're a mother, you're a wife. Get out of this mode of just davening and connecting to Hashem all day long. Nobody can talk to you because you're in the middle of Tehillim all day long. Stop it. That's not what Hashem wants.